Hello my scrapping friends and welcome to Creating Your Memories. I'm Deborah Kozlovic and I'm a Creative Memories Independent Advisor from Australia. I'm also one of the design team members that create the playbooks and the project recipes for Creative Memories. Today I'm going to share with you a layout that I've used just using our custom cutting system circle. As you can see by this one here, you've got your circles on the side, and then I've done a layer of just one photo on the right hand side of the page. This collection here is part of the Copper Canyon first Copper Canyon that came out, and at the moment released by Creative Memories. They have actually brought out Copper Canyon 2, so it's similar colors, a little bit slightly different in the palette, but neutral colors, the blues, the sea greens, etc. are all about the same. So this is the Copper Canyon 1, and this is one of the layouts that I've done doing this layout. The other one that I've completed with was an old collection that Creative Memories came out. I think it was with their National Scrapbooking Day one, and I think it might have been something like early 2000s maybe. I'm not quite sure, and that's done with that one there. And as you can see, you know, like with the greens and the reds, the blacks and everything, it looks so lovely and the design works so well. And on here I've added the two photos. Today I'm going to show you using the new berry harvest. So I've created this layout using the berry harvest, you know, exactly the same sort of thing that I've done with the other two. So today I'm going to make a double page, so I'm going to make the opposite side to this layout. And the things that you would need to create this layout is you would need all of your blades, so your green, your blue, your red, your cutting mat, your small custom cutting system circle. We're going to be using the inside track on that, repositional tape, your 12-inch trimmer, and I think that's about it. And I've also used, you know, like some stickers and embellishments that go with the berry harvest. So with the berry harvest, it's a gorgeous pack, and then you've got your little coordinating colored cardstocks up on the right hand side, and then you've got your beautiful papers. So for my base, I will use exactly the same. As I said, it is a double page. So I've got that out, and on the reverse you have the blueberries. So I will use that soft tone checkered neutral color. I've also got some white cardstock which I would use for my photo mats, and then I have all my little offcuts to create with my circles and the strips that I have on that page layout. So first of all, to begin my layout, I'm just going to put those aside and bring in my 13 by 13 inch cutting mat. And then we're going to be using our small circle and our blades, because I want to try and get coordinating colors similar to what I did for my second page. So looking at those colors, and I've also used the checkers and the plain red as my strips on the page. So I might go ahead first and cut those, and then I'll have a fair idea of the other colors that I can use to create my circles. So I'm just going to bring in the 12-inch trimmer, and to start off with, I'm just going to cut a 4 by 12 in each color. So I'm just going to set those aside for now, and then using those strips, they're only like 1/4 of an inch, by 12, and I've used this line colourful paper, and then you've got the nice hibiscus, oh well I should say the strawberry flower and strawberry peach red on the opposite side. So I want to cut 2 1/4" by 12. So I want 2 of those. So I'm just going to put those ones aside. So now just the other thing that I did was cutting a circle that I have in the right hand corner. I'm just going to leave that for now because I'm not sure if I want to add another one on the opposite side. And for that circle I actually did use the small circle, and I've cut it with the, I think it was the green blade first. So I've used this paper, so I've cut it with the green blade, and then I've done another one in the same paper which I've used the opposite side of, and I've used the red. So that is the green blade and then the red blade. So now I'm just going to get my colours together, and I'm going to start cutting some circles. So I'm just going to cut a number of different circles. So I'm just going to cut all different colours of the colour palette through the Berry Harvest with the circle using the inside track. So I'm just going to cut a few of each and a few of different sizes using these blades. And then I will be using both sides of the paper. So I'm just going to, oops, remove those, just get my multi-purpose tool. So I'm just going to put them up here and then put them in their groups. So now I've used the red, so now I'm going to cut a couple in the green blade. It will vary on the amount of circles that you would need in the colours and how many you would need. So I'm just going to cut a couple of each to start off with, and then if I need a few extras I can go back and cut a couple more. So again, just using the red blade, then the green, and then the blue. And sticking them in their groups. With this one here on the opposite side you've got mason jars, so on this one I will only just use the red side, not the mason jars. I'll just see if I can cut one out of this. So now with the checkers, also with the checkers I only use the one side, I never use the cherries on the back. That is optional for you if you would like to use the different colours on the reverse. Because the cherries weren't going with my layout, so I never used those. So now we want to cut a couple with the green. And then the blue. See if we can get one more out of this side without the paper moving. There we go. So again, just putting them in their little groups. So now I love this strawberry paper in the Berry Harvest, and then on the reverse you've got the yellow diagonal stripes. So I'm going to cut a few of these ones. So I'm going to do the red. then the green. Might do 3 of the green. Again, just place them in their groups, and I would use the reverse side of that colour. So now I'm going to cut probably about 3 of the blue. And if you line it up correctly, you might be able to just, you know, like cut out a nice strawberry. Like this one here, you can see that, you know, like after cutting it with the red blade, that would just make a nice little circle just by itself on the side, representing the strawberry. So the last colour that I will be using is this beautiful stripe red paper, and then on the reverse you've just got the plain blue dotted. So I'm going to probably do about the same as I did with the strawberry paper. So 2 of the blue, 3 of the green. And with this design, as I've shown you, you can actually use this with any collection. And as you can see, you know, like when I use the Copper Canyon, how well the colours really turned out doing this layout. And the colour palette from the Copper Canyon is just so gorgeous, and it matches with any types of photos. Okay, so we've got our blue ones. So I'm just going to put all my leftover bits of paper aside for now. And then my circle. So I'm just going to close up all my blades. They are pretty sharp. Just going to bring in my silicone mat and my repositional tape. So now is the time to start getting some of your colours together and coordinating them with the other circles. So I think I might use, I think it was this one, might use it on its own. So if I bring in my other layout again, as you can see, all I've done is layered it with a large circle, then the medium circle on top, and then over here I've actually put the 3 circles. This is just a single one. So it's really up to you. I did use the mason jar on this one because I cut out a perfect mason jar. I'm not sure if I do have, just trying to think about which one it was now that has the mason jar. I wonder if I can lift. That is the red. So, you know, like if you do get a perfect mason jar cutout, you can use that if you like. And here's another one. So I don't have a perfect one, so I probably wouldn't do that. So I'm just going to try and match these up and make different designs and colours. So I'm just going to use that strawberry one on its own. So I'm just going to put that down the side. Then we have the stripes. I like that colour stripe. So then small, so I might put that one in there. So just use a bit of repositional tape and just centering that. So now is the time just to build on top and make your circles. So I'm just building and making colourful circles to use on my layout. So I've got a nice perfect strawberry there, so I'm going to use that and I might use that on stripe. Here we have this one. So just making them along, just doing them all different colors. I'm not actually trying to do the same as my opposite side because I would like it to be a little bit more colorful. I put the blue, and that one. So I have a couple more left, so I'm just going to work with what I have for the moment. And if I need to make some more, I will build some more. So I've got my base page. So now I'm just going to line that up. But before I do that, I'm going to get my 2 1/4-inch strips on the silicone mat, just putting them side by side and putting repositional tape on them. So now, line this up. So I'm going to place this first one. I think I've done it at the one. Let's just make sure. Oh yeah. So just line that up again. So you want to place this at the 1-inch line. There, and the next one, measure that again. The next one is going to sit at the 2.5-inch line. So if you're working from the opposite side like I am, that would be at 10.5, and it's going to meet up over this side at the 2.5. So my base layout, I should say my double page layout, is going to be something like this. So I'm going to have the circles on that side and the circles on the opposite side, like this. So now I'm going to place down all my circles. Just going to move my mat. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place my circles on my layout, and this will let me know and working out if I do need to make a couple more circles. So with the sizing, I'm just trying to alternate each one differently from the other and trying to separate the colors. So on this one, I do need some other small circles. Put that one there. I think it needs a darker colour. Put the strawberry there. What have we got? And then orange one. And place that one there. Oh, I'd already did that one. I actually do like the opposite. So I'm just going to take that one off and put this one back on here. Seem to have too many big circles on one side, so I'm going to have to remove a couple. So I might remove that one. Remove that. And maybe put that one there. Yep. I might do it like this, so I'm just going to remove those other circles off the layout, and then again just using some repositional tape and now sticking them on in the middle of your strip. So just working the way up and placing them down. As I'm going along here, I'm actually placing it a little bit closer. I've got a lot of strawberry ones facing up on this side. Okay, so there we've got this one. I might change that one to that one. Okay, so that is our base layout. So as you can see with that, and then putting the other one beside, it matches up pretty good because we've used the similar colors and the same color palette, I should say, and then, you know, coordinating colors with that. So now what I'm going to do, we're going to bring back in our 4x12 strips, and then bringing back in the trimmer, and you want to cut each one of these. I'm sure they're at 8. I'll just double check with my ruler the measurements. I should cut them at 9. Lucky I checked. So I'm just going to put these together, and then I'm going to cut 3 inches off. So I'm just going to bring back in my 13 by 13 inch cutting mat. So I'm going to line this one up again. And then I'm just going to bring in this. And with my first one, I've taken it up 1.5 inches from the bottom, and then 3.5 inches from the side. So I might do reverse this time. So I'm just going to use the repositional tape. So to get my measurements correct, I am going to use my ruler. So for our bottom one, we want to take it 1.5 from the bottom, and then go in at 3.5. And then at our second one, we want to take it up 2 inches and then 2 inches from the side. So just using repositional tape again. You can use the tape runner if you like. The tape runner and the repositional tape will stick firmly the same. So taking it at 2 inches and then taking it 2 inches from the side. So I've still got my circles which I can place down the bottom. So as you can see by my layout, it's looking pretty good. I was just undecided if I wanted to put another circle on that side. Okay, so I've got my white cardstock. I'm going to bring back in the trimmer. And I'm going to cut them at 4 by 12. This is the bright white cardstock that I'm using for my photo mat. So I've only put the one photo on this side, but I was thinking maybe I might do the 2 photos on this side. Like this. Or the other thing you could do is, you know, like a couple of 4x4s. So here I've used a sticker from the sticker strip, and I've also used some of the embellishments. So with the sticker, you do have the gorgeous little sticker strips here. So I used this bow one, and what I did was I got the sticker, which I'll continue that same effect on the opposite side, and use my scissors and then just curved around the bow, and exactly the same thing here. So just neating up the bow. So now I'm just going to use this non-stick powder that Creative Memories have brought out, because I raised it with foam squares, and that will remove the stickiness on the back. So I've got that. So now to put down my sticker strips, I've done them at, it's about 5 1/8. So I'm just going to bring back in my mat and measure that so we've got the right measurements for that sticker strip, so it matches it up with the opposite side. Okay, I need to go this way. So, oops, just fix that up. So this bottom one is sitting at 5. And then I think the next one is just below, so it's 5 1/4. And then it's about 2 dashes out. So just going to bring in my layout. I'm going to do the first one at 5, going from your left hand side of your 13 by 13 inch mat. So then on the reverse side it will be sitting at 7. So you've got 5 on this side and 7 on that side. So with your straight end, you want to put that on the outside. And then I've got it about 2 dashes of the checkers going out, so that will go there like that. And I'm pretty sure that with my photos that will cover the other bit. On my opposite side, I've done the circles there, so that also cut it so you didn't have to trim it off. So then the next one, we're going to do exactly the same thing, so it's covered up. So then you're going to move it down, and you want it at 4 3/4, I should say, from your left hand side, and 8 3/4 on your right. So then that's going to sit round about the same, and they're going to match here. So I'm going to place down my photo mats. I'm going to use the tape runner for that. I'm just dabbing it on the 4 sides and at each end, and I want it so it's showing a little bit of the red and the checkers. So the first one, just going to use my ruler again, starting from the left, it's going to sit at 6.5, and then 1, need to move that down a bit, so maybe that would be 6, and just looking at my ruler, 6 3/8, and then still 1 inch from the side. And then going up here, I'm going to sit it at 2 1/4, and then 1 inch from the left hand side, and that's going to leave that little gap in the middle, and then you've got that gap down the bottom. Now with my bow, I'm just going to sit, just bringing in my other one. I do have it on a slight of an angle, so I'm just going to do the same and have it slight on an angle like so. So I'm just going to bring it in some foam squares. Got some little round dot ones. And I do want to put a couple just on the little ribbon bits. So I'm just going to get one of these small foam squares and cut it in half. And do that. So now we're just going to stick that on the strips that we just placed down. Just going to take these little protective covers off them. Okay, this one is just slightly too big, so I'm just going to try and trim that down a little bit. Because the last thing that you want to do is just have a foam square showing out on your layout. So now I've got that, and then that's just going to go on an angle like that. So, and with this here, as I said, I've just cut it with the circle, using the green blade as the bigger circle and your red blade as the smaller circle, and then put that round decorative like doily type thing in the middle. and they are in your embellishment pack. So they are these ones here. Just open this up. And as you can see, you've got, you know, like the different colors that you could use. I'm not going to put a second one on the opposite side of the page. I don't think it would go, but I do like it just the one and then doing it like that. You do have some smaller ones also. I mean, that could be optional, that I can actually just place one down the bottom like that if I like, or using the strawberry as another little title, so that could be an option that I might use. The other embellishments in here, we have the nice little gem little stickers, and then we have some titles and strawberries and mason jars, you know, all the little things that go with the berries. So I can always do something like this onto my layout. I actually like that, so I might actually do that one. And then you've got all these other little nice embellishments also. And then you have some smaller ones, you have mason jars, etc. Strawberry ice cream is always good. And then on our sticker pack, we also have similar, like the mason jars and etc. And then you've got some nice little wordings that you can also put on your layout. So with this one, I've got the 3 little circles there. To incorporate that on the opposite side, I was thinking maybe I've got a few here. Just seeing what it looks like, but I don't think I might add those there actually. I think I might just leave that, because then that will make that look a little bit different. But I do like this down the bottom here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some tape runner down the bottom, but not up the top, so it's going to affect when I put my photo on. So I'm just going to lay that like so, and then bring in some foam squares again, and then just might use the circles. And then you've got your smaller ones. And then just put that title there. So just taking these off. And then just put berry fresh. Oops. Like this. And then got a nice strawberry here. So I might just sit that at the end there. Then we have the flowers are really cute, the little strawberry flowers. I think that's probably all I would do on my layout. I don't want to overcrowd it, because you do have that nice little border down the side, and then you've got these stickers here. So I'm pretty happy with my double page spread. Actually like that, it really looks nice. So now I just need to get my strawberry picking photos developed and place it on my layout. So that is using the berry harvest and then just making a circle border look down the side of either side, left or right of your base pages, and then having your photo collection in the middle there. And as I said, I've also completed it with the Copper Canyon one, and we got those with some nice frames etc in that, and that was first released in a secret box, and then an old NSD collection, early 2000s. I think it might have been 2021, but I can't be completely sure about that one. And yeah, and then the Berry Blast. So I hope you've enjoyed my little tutorial today on creating a layout using the Berry Harvest. If you would like to be part of my team, I'm in Australia. Please just get in contact with me and I can give you the details. And also in the description bar, you can go to my alternative pages on Facebook and Instagram. And any questions, please comment. Please subscribe to my channel. And happy scrapping, everyone. Thank you.